Just burn it all down. Who cares? I think there's a little bit of that, but I'm sorry. Look, there is no evidence in this country that normal people are responding to Trump in the numbers that people responded to the idea of Britain leaving the EU. Normal people are not responding well to Trump. And the only thing that I think is resonating with more or less normal people that is coming from Trump, Trump brought up in front of a wall of trash yesterday in Monessen, Pennsylvania. It was an aluminum recycling company, actually, I believe. And Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, these Rust Belt states are considered perhaps the best chance that Trump has of winning. Sometimes even the best can be pretty bad. But nevertheless, it's really interesting. Now, what was also interesting is that Trump, and I have no doubt, he doesn't believe any of this crap. He just doesn't. If he did, he would have been much more pointed with it during the Republican primary. I mean, remember, he sat on stage with 3 guys at one point, 3 guys who were to vote on the TPA, which was basically the gateway for the TPP, on stage with them, in arm's reach, and didn't even once attempt to corner any of them on this issue. 3 years ago, the guy was writing about the need for more of these NAFTA-like trade deals on an international level. So he's full of it, right? He's full of it. With that said, if it helps to force Clinton to get out ahead of this stuff, great. This is what I was hoping for 6 months ago. I mean, I think I specifically remember saying, in January, in December of last year, January of this year, December, the fall of last year, that having those Trump in that primary was going to change the quality of the debate in terms of TPP on one hand, and having Sanders in the Democratic Party was also going to impact it. And I want to see it go even further. So in some ways, I encourage this stuff from Trump, even though I don't believe what he's saying. But who cares? I don't care. Here is Trump in Pennsylvania.
I am going to withdraw the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Now, pause it for a second. I know he called it the United Straits. That's okay. I think what he means is the United States. It's just that he's reading from a teleprompter.
Different when black guys do it.
Yeah, no, I understand. He's an American. He's not from he's not from Kenya, so Nigeria or Ghana. So
whatever.
Okay, started from the beginning.
I am going to withdraw the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which has not yet been ratified. I'm going to tell our NAFTA partners that I intend to immediately renegotiate the terms of that agreement to get a better deal by a lot, not just a little, by a lot for our workers. And if they don't agree to a renegotiation, which they might not, because they're so used to having their own way, not with Trump, they won't have their own way, then I will submit under Article 2205 of the NAFTA agreement that America intends to withdraw from the deal. If China does not stop its illegal activities, including its theft of American trade secrets, I will use every lawful president. Hey, look, this is very easy. This is so easy. I love saying this. I will use every lawful presidential power to remedy trade disputes, including the application of tariffs consistent with Section 201 and 301 of the Trade Act of 1974 and Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962.
Yeah, he's just doing that off his top of his head. I love the fact that he's like, I love saying this. He's actually commenting on the speech that someone's written for him. Like, oh, I'm so glad somebody wrote this. Let me tell you something about him renegotiating NAFTA. Not only did Barack Obama say the same thing in 2008, not only did Hillary Clinton say the same thing in 2008. I don't think either one had any intention of doing that. But for him to walk away from NAFTA, now, I doubt very many people in the audience necessarily that he's talking to know who's in NAFTA, but I imagine you folks do. We're talking about Mexico and Canada. Mexico and Canada represent two of our biggest sources of oil that we get oil from in this country. Mexico is about 8%. I think the rest of Latin American oil comes from Venezuela, which is probably around, 6%. So about 15% comes from Latin America. More than half of that, I think, probably comes from Mexico. About 15% of our oil comes from Canada. There's a little bit of leverage there for us to sort of unilaterally walk away from that deal. Do I think it should be renegotiated? I think at this point, I don't even know what it would do. He's certainly not going to renegotiate the investor dispute elements of these deals. No way. How do you make the deal better for our workers? You force these other countries to raise their environmental and their labor standards. Now, at this point, Mexico has already lost most of those jobs to China anyways, who are not part of our trade deal. He's a moron. He's a moron, but a useful moron. And hopefully Clinton will come out even more strongly and reiterate her opposition to TPP. And again, what's the value of that? Of course they can change their mind. But the thing is, this isn't about reopening NAFTA, where you have to do something in the affirmative. It's about putting a marker out there that can be a bludgeon against any Democrats in the House or the Senate who want to vote for this. Because then all of a sudden they're outside the mainstream of their own party. So it's definitely, that rhetoric has value to us.
When I am president, with all of the... I love that they put this in here. This is my favorite part. This is the part where I pant because I really have serious health problems. And I'm basically obese. And I'm completely draining myself of all of my energy as a 70-year-old man with spiking estrogen levels by doing useless campaign stops in places like California that I'll never win. So I will use all of the presidential power. That was creepy.
He's going on.
That was so creepy.
He's going on. He really, honestly, it looks like he's going on like a cable clearance tour. These are all the places where Trump media will be carried by the cable companies. And I love this part. The one media you can trust.
The United States, we're gone. TPP, what a presidential power.
Let's go. Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.